Hi, this is Tisch Aitken, and it is Tuesday, July 1st. So much to say, so little focus to say it, but let me break it down to my best ability. We have Neptune, the planet of dreams and imagination, illusion, fantasy, confusion, deception, stationing retrograde on July 4th at 5:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 2 degrees and 11 minutes of the Cardinal fire sign of Aries. We feel that energy 5 days before and 5 days after. So we started feeling the station on Monday, June 30th. And this augments the energy of any outer planet when it stations either direct or retrograde. It exaggerates the qualities of that planet, can make you feel more tired, can make you feel more spacey, can bring out deception to the forefront, can bring a lot of creativity and very vivid dreams. But it definitely exaggerates and augments the qualities of that planet. Now, Neptune entered Aries on March 30th, and it will be in the sign of Aries on and off through April 12th of 2028. And it's going to return to Pisces on October 22nd of this year. But it's retrograding, we're feeling that energy, so it's making things more confusing. And Neptune has started a whole new story because it takes 165 years to orbit. And the last time it was in the sign of Aries was in 1861. So that's a long time ago. And it's close to the world point. It's a little bit off, 2 degrees off and 11 minutes from the world axis, meaning that we're all co-creating on the collective level a new story, a new dream. Veils are getting lifted. We're seeing things in a whole new light. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's a sign of new beginnings. And then you add to the fact that Uranus, which is the planet of chaos and upheaval, is at the very final degree of Taurus, where it does not like to be. It's very chaotic. It represents instant, fixed, fast change. And it's a sign that likes predictability. And right now, it's very unhinged. You could feel unhinged. A lot of, unpredictable blow-ups. Could be chaos with technology. And Uranus is about to change signs. So it's going to enter Gemini on Monday, July 7th. That's right around the corner at 5:34 p.m. at 3:47 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's going to begin a whole new story. We're going to have Uranus, which takes approximately 84 years to transit, changing signs, entering the sign of Gemini, which is an air sign. It's ruled by Mercury. This is going to bring, Uranus is the planet of chaos, but also genius, and it's going to bring a lot of quick thinking, a lot of quick changes, a lot to do with transportation, how we get around. There will be a lot of improvement on that, how we socialize, how we network. I think as much as there will be focus on obviously technology and the internet, there will be more focus on reconnecting in person and facilitating that process in some way. That people have become more estranged, and that's not positive. And Pluto and Uranus will be trining one another for the next few years, and that's a very positive, inventive energy. And there will be a minor triangle later in the summer, building up at the end of August for a few months, that will bring in magic and infinite potential, intellectual expansion, new ways of doing things. But right now, we've had quite a story. We've had Saturn and Neptune in the sign of self, in Aries. Neptune retrogrades on Friday at 5:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Again, we're feeling that energy already as we begin the week, and we will feel it 5 days after. And that's at 2 degrees and 11 minutes of Aries. But then we've got Saturn, the planet of responsibility, the reality planet, the planet of reckoning, rules and regulations. Very different from Neptune, because Neptune spaces out and Saturn says get focused, get real. And it's like the Nike commercial, just do it. And that's Saturn. And Saturn is going to retrograde on July 13th at 1 degree and 56 minutes of Aries. So it's very close to Neptune. They're going to meet up directly and exactly at 0 degrees and 45 minutes of Aries next February, but they're very close right now. And we'll start feeling Saturn's restrictions and limitations and roadblocks and things we can't get past, things we need to improve. That's going to come up just as much as the need to escape or confusion. That reality planet is also coming in to say, hey, get it together. And we'll start feeling that build up starting July 9th, 2 days after Uranus, the planet of chaos, enters Gemini, bringing speed, lightning. And yet we have 4 planets retrograding, well, 3 planets retrograding this month, and Chiron, which is an asteroid representing the wounded healer. Chiron also retrogrades. So Saturn and Neptune, newly in Aries, in a new sign, bringing a new vision on the collective and for each and every one of us that we really have no idea about, because Neptune is retrograding, is newly in Aries for the first time in many years, and Saturn was here in the mid-late 90s, but not with 4 points in Aries, and definitely not with Neptune in Aries. And Uranus, well, we have Venus in Taurus, where it loves to be. It meets up with Uranus on the day of the Neptune retrograde. So on July 4th, it's going to be quite a day for her in the United States. We've got Venus meeting up with Uranus at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at the very final degree of Taurus. The last time in our lifetime, or for probably 90% of us, because it'll be 84 years until Uranus comes back to Taurus. But with that said, Venus and Uranus meet up early in the morning on Friday the 4th, and then Venus changes signs and enters the sign of Gemini, the mutable air sign of Gemini, which is very social, gregarious, flirtatious, and it'll change signs at 11:31 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then it's going to be in the sign of Gemini through July 30th. So that's bringing a social energy to the weekend. But you can expect, with Venus and Uranus pairing up together in the morning of the 4th, and with Neptune retrograding, where again lies could be uncovered, there could be misunderstandings and confusion. We have Neptune retrograding. Mercury will retrograde later in the middle of the month on July 18th at 15 degrees and 34 minutes of Leo, but it entered its shadow on Monday, June 30th, meaning it got to 4 degrees and 15 minutes of Leo, where it will station direct on August 11th. So we're getting a preview of the Mercury retrograde story. I have a friend of mine that's a Leo that just put $3,000 in her car, so she's already starting to feel that Mercury retrograde in Leo, even though it hasn't yet happened. Mercury in Leo is speaking from the heart, but again, it's in its shadow. We've got Neptune retrograde, Venus meeting up with Uranus. Well, the best laid plans of mice and men, things might go awry. There could be unexpected invitations, hookups, meetings, unexpected financial windfalls and gains. But in the same vein, there could be unexpected breakups. Maybe you find out something you had no idea about. There could be power plays and power struggles. Hopefully it gets a little better with Venus entering Gemini, because Venus is going to make good aspects. It's going to sextile Saturn and Neptune on Sunday the 6th. That's a really nice energy. It's stabilizing, it's romantic, and I'll talk more about it later in the week. I'm just trying to trying to cover what I can, I feel, the Neptune. And then Venus will trine Pluto on Monday the 7th, which is the day that Uranus enters Gemini. And Venus trine Pluto is beautiful. And that occurs at 4:44 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a little less than an hour after Uranus, the maverick planet, the planet of surprise and the unexpected, segues into transiting in Gemini with lots of information, lots of stories. This is going to be quite an exciting summer. And Uranus will tour in Gemini through November 7th. Then it returns again next year on April 25th, and it will remain in Gemini through May 22nd of 2033. And this will be a lot more exciting. Right now, we're feeling Uranus at an anaretic degree, where it can feel very explosive, in a sign that it's challenging in. Right now, we're feeling Neptune retrograding. We're feeling Saturn retrograding soon. And they're very close together. So we're all building a new dream together, but we really have no idea. And it can either be a dream or it can be fear. Because again, there's very much of a Neptunian focus, even though right now, aside from the North Node of Fate, there are no points in Pisces. Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. And both Neptune and Saturn are going to return to Pisces later in the year. Saturn will on September 1st, Neptune will on October 22nd. And they'll be there through the beginning of next year, and then they're gone from Pisces. So, a lot to take in. This is going to be a reflective month. In the same time, it's also going to be a lot happening. So you're going to find the need to sit back and reflect and figure out how you can structure things more cohesively with Saturn retrograde, how you can build the dream with Neptune retrograde. They're retrograde for a good portion of the year. But Mercury retrograde, well, that's going to bring a different dimension, and that's in the middle of the month. And 4 planets in 1 month, or 3 planets in an asteroid in 1 month, brings reflectiveness as there's lightning speed thinking, learning, connecting, and messages. Whoa, what a month. Take care.